My name is Jeremy Till, I'm Head of Centre St Martin's, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you to what is, in a way, the inaugural online version of the MullenLowe NOVA Awards. The reason that these awards are important is that over the past 10 years, they collect this amazing archive of work, and in particular show how our students and staff are responding to the times. And never has that been more important than this year, when our students have had to pivot round and address new ways of delivery, new ways of working, and most importantly, new ways of thinking about the world that we all face.
Fitting Fragments is a digitalized performance project in 3 parts. It focuses on post-communist realities and confused cultural identities which manifest as a tangle of traditional lifestyles, Soviet ideology, Islamic values, and the presentation of it is playful and full of visual metaphors, largely inspired by the lives and experiences of my family in Uzbekistan in the last 100 years.
My project is a series of photos that I've been working on over the course of a few months, where I've layered and edited them again and again. So I might find stuff I found on Twitter and text posts and sort of hide them in the photos and then put them through editing apps like Facetune. Basically, people exposing other people for editing their pictures really badly. So I've sort of copied these ways of editing into my own work.
In the near future, we're going to put our health in the hand of regenerative medicine, which means we're going to use our own cells from our own body, which we call stem cells, to re-inject them in our body to cure diseases. And we've discovered a few years ago now that pluripotent stem cells, usually harvested from bone marrow, which is quite expensive and a hard procedure, can be found in huge quantity in menstruations. So this project aims to break menstruation taboos by changing perception we have on our own menstruations.
So my project investigates the existing presentations of Black British history. So I wanted to fill the silent gaps and show the existence and contributions of Black people in Britain from the 17th and 19th centuries. So I wanted to reposition Black British history as significant. Well, I volunteer at the Black Cultural Archive, so I'm always coming across lots of different aspects within Black British history, and I'd be both frustrated and kind of inspired to make this knowledge more known, because I know that there's so many people out there that don't know what I've just discovered.
Rinse and Repeat investigates the fear of contamination and how it influences our environment and our behaviour. I've used materials that we associate with cleanliness to create a collection of meditative jewellery and sculptures that explore our daily hygiene rituals and practices that we've adopted to keep ourselves safe from germs. For example, a contemporary amulet of stone carved to resemble a humble bar of soap to suggest the faith that we've placed in hygiene theories to keep us safe. My own experiences with germophobia made me want to interrogate the fear of contamination further, with a hope of understanding it more and relieving my own worries.
My project, I would say it's like a metaphor for my experiences growing up as being mixed race in a completely white surroundings, family, schools and everything, kind of expressed through this character who performs in whiteface, who dies, and the public makes tributes through vivacious costumes. The inspiration behind the project is kind of the pageantry of grief surrounding celebrity deaths, blackface scandals, of course, the idea of being able to have a Halloween costume out of like a famous character or person, and West African carnival costumes.
So AUGMENTED is a public engagement project that's trying to expose the fragility of water ecosystems around the world, particularly those that are used by companies driven by consumer habits. We use vast amounts of water to undertake our business needs, but at the same time, the people that operate these machinery don't drink enough water themselves. So it's kind of an investigation into the irony of how we overuse water in some circumstances, but then we don't drink enough to fuel our bodies. And then from that, it was a journey into the habits of water use as human beings. And it's kind of shifted into now how we pollute the waterways unbeknown to, our driven habits.
My project is creating an animated film that's centered around a wolf character. He goes into a city to try and blend in with the humans. It's based on the fable Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. My project's inspired by fables. I think they're still very relevant today, short stories that have greater emotional impact. I wanted to make a story that's based on a fable but is injected with a modern, morally grey cynicism of 2020, just to make it interesting.
The project responds to the dramatic loss of LGBTQ+ venues across London by transforming an 18th century Gothic villa, Strawberry Hill, from a place of protection to a place of projection. So the House of Extravaganza launches with a memorial for London's lost queer spaces, and then open up its doors to the city's, and then becomes the city's first queer palace, a site for events and interventions, but also an incubator of other queer spaces across London. So the narrative of the House of Extravaganza runs in parallel with my own experiments with identity and space, all of which are mapped, performed, and shared online under the stage name Divine the Third.
As a Hubei native based in London, I faced the COVID-19 outbreak both in my hometown Wuhan and the UK. I using daily reports from my friend and family during lockdown in Wuhan and my self-isolation experience of lockdown in London to combine the different narratives of the science and the human experience in the time of pandemic. I did 4 pieces of work: performance films, posters and story, light interactive installation, and photo book. I put my real daily feeling into this work. Later, when London entered the lockdown state, I stayed at home every day. On the contrary, in this extreme state, I simulated creation and I have the desire to express and communicate with the society.
My project explores the prisons and criminal justice system we have here in the UK, but hones in on HMP Brixton in South London as a case study. It's a story or series of stories framed around the idea of a prison-free society for low-risk offenders. Architecturally, it proposes a series of interventions that provide greater social infrastructure to disadvantaged neighbourhoods. And I think the focus in this way becomes on integrating offenders back into their communities, as well as exploring the ways in which architecture and policy can come together to reduce the culture of crime at the root of the problem.
So my project is really about taking, tech systems as an inspiration, both technically and aesthetically, and using that in order to completely remodel the way we produce fashion today in order to make it more sustainable and mainly circular. So there's both a physical aspect to it and a digital aspect. I'm quite interested in, mixed realities because I want to kind of address both aspects of our identity today, which is our physical identities and our growing digital identities, us on social media, Zoom calls, things like this. And, there's a whole aspect of social media that is ruled by algorithms, and there's this constant need for new content. So I'm quite interested in design that can constantly be changed. and evolved without producing more waste.
So an Angolan archive is an assemblage of research materials, red lines, voice recordings, and loads of different historical and present moments of the Angolan experience, of my Angolan experience, that really serve to discuss the current social, political, and economic situation of Angola, and just really reflect about micro political moments that eventually reverberate onto macro politics and perhaps affect everyone. So a lot of my own memory and I guess shared societal memory and this will to assemble something that people could not only resonate with but could use as a tool for the future.
So at the core of my project is an investigation into the 5 keywords which I said recycle, reuse, reinvent, and redesign, and reduce. So of this research seeking more sustainable future for the ceramic industry. So I created the new value from the ceramic industry waste, while it's designing for the urban open space. So from the extensive research in Jindagen, I forged a new material made from the 100% upcycled industrial ceramic byproduct. So I continue the traditional of the China's thousands of years of ceramic innovation through a range of the bench design.
This is an opportunity also to put together an incredible group of jurors who bring a lot of wisdom to the discussions.
What I'm really looking for is people who are using the most creative approaches to resolving questions that they've posed themselves in their projects. So I'm not looking for one kind of question or one kind of solution. I'm just looking for people who have set out a really, really clear question and how they've gone about answering it in the most interesting way possible.
What is most interesting for me in participating and looking at the shortlists is looking for innovation, creativity, and most of all, a maturity in the execution. I find it very important that artists today find that completion in the whole process of creativity.
The challenge, of course, is there's such a diversity of work because students are spanning architecture, design, fine art, jewelry, and so on. And so there's always a search for originality and ideas, and also an execution.
I think we're looking for innovative, creative, thoughtful students who not only push the boundaries creatively and with experimentation, but also have some sort of social awareness and are able to take a question and be really rigorous in how they explore it.
What we are looking for is depth of thought, the idea that you take something that is of interest to you and you dive into it with full conviction, and you explore it, and you find all the possibilities, and you explore all the different possibilities, and you come up with a project that synthesizes your thought and that communicates your process in an impeccable way.
I have loved every minute of judging the MullenLowe NOVA Awards. I have found it to be it's taken quite a long time, and I spent a lot of time on each of the applications and each of the projects. It's been refreshing, it's been inspiring, it's opened up new questions in my head, it's introduced me to these artists.
It is important to support students at every time, but particularly today during COVID, I think that we have seen how fragile the creative industries are. And also we have seen how important the creative industries are to our daily life. So supporting them is the way of finding new solutions that will enhance our future.
Especially now, students are in the most precarious times, not just in their education, but in their lives. So I think more than ever, it's important that students deserve to feel recognised and supported in the work that they're doing.
We will depend on the creative leadership of this generation of students, and I want there to be the best possible thinkers, makers and doers tackling the questions that are going to challenge us. Central St Martin's is a global institution, and for me, what we're doing here in supporting its students feels like a really vital step in making sure that we've got the conditions for us all to do really well in the future.
I think all the work was very different. I wouldn't say there was necessarily one theme. I think they're all very socially aware, and that's really amazing to see that there are a lot of things going on right now that people are passionate about, and students especially are recognizing some of the biggest crises we're going through as a society, and they are really questioning and not just questioning, in fact, but they're also trying to be more resolution based and think about how we can deal with these problems, whether it's in ourselves or even give practical solutions. So I think that's been the nicest thing to see.
My key takeaway is that creativity brings solutions, and solutions bring change.
If we judge the creative strength of our colleges by the output of this group, that we are in very safe hands for the future.
The object of this award is to make sure that that this emerging talent, which is pushing the boundaries of their specific fields of study, but also the boundaries of humanity and of society, are recognized and are given yet another platform from which to shine. This is one of the highlights of my year, including this year, because of how exciting it is to see all this emerging talent always come up with incredible things that we never would have thought of.
So the UniLoVA Unstereotyped Award recognises inclusive, forward-thinking creative work, and why this winner we think fitted the category so well. This winner was a very thoughtful, creative student who told a very authentic story, but also had some sort of resolution. The more recognition this work gets, that I feel like it's beneficial not just to, again, the student, but also to society, as it's very relevant and to what is going on right now. Congratulations to this winner, and I'm really excited to see how you move forward and what work you create next.
Honestly, it's amazing because the key theme within my whole project is visibility. So I'm extremely grateful that the public can now see and access my project, and they can learn something new, which is all I ever wanted for the project. And real change can actually begin, because what I've explored is just a small fragment, and there are so many more stories and histories that need to be told and acknowledged.
The Your Nova Award is the chance for you, the public, to have your say and to vote for your favourite work from the 14 shortlisted entries. Over 3,500 votes were cast for this award this year, a sign of how committed our society is to maintaining strong creative voices within our communities. So on behalf of myself and the rest of the judges, and of all of those shortlisted, a huge thank you. I know that this award means a great deal to students graduating from university, and in today's difficult climate, the boost that it can provide at the start of a creative career is more important than ever.
feels really incredible because not only has been such a journey that, loads of, I guess, emotions, not only personal emotions, but societal emotions have been involved in the process of maintaining hope and getting the work done. It's just so important that other people can see the value in the work.
To the MullenLowe Group, being associated with creativity in general and with creativity that is designed, that is permanently breaking the boundaries of their disciplines is tremendously enriching, because our craft and our work is about breaking those boundaries and about trying to find new ways to communicate and find different angles to try to have conversations with people. And what these young students bring, and their fundamental job is to open up our minds to different things, to things that are going on, and to thinking that is completely different to what we're used to. I say every year that this is the best group of work I've ever seen. And the question is, do I say it every year? Yes, I do. And do I mean it this year? Yes, I do.
I feel like when you're doing the work, you're very passionate and you're very behind it. And in the back of your mind that there's always going to be some sort of critique about the work that you are doing. So I think it's nice, and I feel quite proud of myself that there are people in the wide world that have viewed my work and feel that it's compelling enough to at least be put forward for a nice award.
It's really an honor because, it's like we've worked like this whole year on this project, and I feel, it kind of gives me the opportunity as well to talk about what I'm interested in, which is kind of all this tech stuff and like all this sustainability, aspect in fashion, and to be able to kind of connect with people that are also interested in this, or who have other insights. So I feel like it's really like, it's really exciting.
This year, as in very few years, the winner was chosen, rose to the top immediately. There was no discussion of who the winner was. In the previous years, we've always had one or two, or sometimes even three contenders. But this year, there was a piece of work that rose to the top. If you look at the numeric votes, it was not head and shoulders about everything else, but everybody understood that was possibly the strongest piece of work, and there was no discussion about that. So the person that is going to now receive this award can be absolutely positive that every single one of the jurors thought that was the best piece of work, and that they should win. So well done to you, and congratulations, and enjoy this.
Just really incredible, I think that I want to continue practicing, I need to continue practicing, and the award would I guess, really allow me to practice with a little bit of peace of mind in terms of being able to access materials, space, and different opportunities that, you know, are quite scarce, especially right now for people coming from design and art BAs.